we are here at Balsam Farms, and it's Chef Jay's and I's first time here.
Here we are.
And it's gonna be a mini adventure.
So I've been saving this trip for you. I've been
Just
waiting
for me.
you.
Just for me.
Just for you.
It's even better.
There
It's
you
even
go.
better. So as you know, everyone, he's one of my first friends from Slow Food East End's Movable Feast. And today, we're gonna dive into the farm-to-table experience that we talked about.
Yes, definitely. This is a great experience for both of us. We do a lot of business here with Balsam Farms. I'm new to the East End, relatively new.
Relatively new.
Relatively new.
Okay, so we gotta talk about that.
We'll talk about that later.
All right. We'll save it for later.
But you know, I met you at the Slow Food event on the board of Slow Food East End, as well as I'm also the co-chair of the Chefs Alliance for Slow Food USA.
Oh wow!
So
Congratulations!
I didn't have enough to do between Barron's Cove and the East End, and now we're out here to explore together.
Oh my God! So Balsam Farms is a part of Slow Food.
Correct.
Yes. So that's even better. It's a great tie. So let's dive in here. Like, I want to see what they have in fresh herbs and things that you might cook up today.
Sounds great. Let's see what we
do
got.
it.
Let's see
I'm
what we can
following
find.
you.
Okay, let's
You're
go.
the tour guide. So what do you typically get from Balsam Farms?
So I've been buying a lot of their asparagus. Their
Okay.
asparagus is amazing. I'm buying a lot of their herbs, a lot of their fresh spinach as well.
Okay.
We use a lot of their spinach in our dishes.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, we try to stay seasonal. They send out an email. Well, actually, they have a website with it to keep up to date. So I just order off of there. Plus, you know, I talk to Ian, see what's going on, what they have, and I've been buying from them since last year. So when I came out of here, it's one of the few first farms that I've done business with. And it's all about building relationships. Them finding out what I'm looking for, what they grow. And usually what I do at the end of every year, I'll meet with the farmers in November, December. We talk about the previous year, we talk about the year coming up, see what we can do better in terms of my end or their end. And it's just building relationships. It's talking and just learning about each other.
How many farms are a part of Slow Food on the East End?
There's a lot. There's a lot of the smaller farms. I'm working with about 4 or 5 farms right now in terms of vegetables. I'm working with a few farms in terms of cheeses. I'm working with Good Water Farms for microgreens. They're the largest microgreen farm out here, one of the largest microgreen farms. Working with Brendan. So and being out here a short time, I had been in the Hudson Valley and in Manhattan for probably 30 or 40 years, so I had a lot of relationships. And then coming out here, I've met people, a lot of it's word of mouth. I have a farm up in Orient Point called I and Me Farm, which exclusively grows just for chefs. It's a small 1-acre farm.
One day.
We will, one day. Mimi Edelman, who I know from the Hudson Valley, we had worked together, and she moved out here before I did, and it was just by chance that I'm out here now. So we kind of follow each other, and we do a lot of work together with Slow Foods, the Arc of Taste as well.
I love that. Hey!
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm well. Welcome to Barron's Cove.
Thank you so much.
Okay. These in particular are my favorite. They're our loft suites.
Ooh.
So they're the only ones that are overlooking the pool.
Oh, wow. It's beautiful.
Yes, this is the highlight. You have the heated saltwater pool overlooking the bay area. It's absolutely a gorgeous view. Yes,
Okay.
we do have some treatment rooms. We have lovely massage therapists. They're absolutely phenomenal.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
That's wonderful. You see, everyone, so this is how you can savor your moment when you're in Sag Harbor. Come here. Come to Barron's Cove.
Promote the chefs, promote the food, preserve food from the Arc of Taste, promote the restaurants, promote the purveyors, the growers. It's to help promote everything that Slow Foods is about, and to get chefs to go to the ethos of what Slow Foods is about. And you know, I don't know if you know anything about the Arc of Taste. The Arc of Taste is a list. Well, it's a worldwide list, but each country has its own list. And it's a list of preserving endangered foods. It could be from plants to animals to artisan cheeses, and there's subgroups for each. Like New York, there's a northeast, there's a southeast, and what it does, like there's endangered animals, there's endangered foods. It's a way of preserving our history, and our heritage in food.
Wow.
So there's a lot. Food, everyone's history is involved around food. And
Yes.
now with the larger seed companies or the larger livestock companies, they're doing less and less varieties. And here in the Northeast, something like the Long Island cheese pumpkin or the Hank's X bean, which was a white bean that was grown in the Hudson Valley, are regional beans or produce that came for the area, so they were adopted to the area, so they grow better, they're more flavorful. So the Chefs Alliance supports chefs that are putting that on their menus. The only way farmers are going to grow items that are on the Arc of Taste is where it's economically feasible, where they'll grow. They can grow the Hereford pig, or growing some of these other produce. Is it economically feasible for them to grow them? If it's not economically feasible for them to grow them, they're not going to grow them. So by supporting chefs that are doing that and the growers, it helps everybody. It's a win situation. This way we don't lose our food history.
Now, because we're talking about the history and just the list, what's the list here? Like, what's endangered here with
Here,
food?
you're having like the shed. There's different, and it's constantly evolving. Where items are coming off the list or going on the list. Sauerkraut, organic sauerkraut that's organically made is on the list.
Wow.
There's different types of tomatoes. There's different types of livestock. So it's a constant evolving list. Or we're trying to find things that are on the list. The big push, which I told you about, was originally the Long Island cheese pumpkin, which was originally a pumpkin that was grown out here for food.
Yes.
A lot of the foods that are on the list also came from that were grown by the indigenous people. Like out here we have the Shinnecock's.
Yes.
The Shinnecock had a big seed history and food history as well.
The Three
oysters,
Sisters.
The Three Sisters. Where I've done something with them. I've done a class in conjunction with the Shinnecocks at the Amagansett Food Institute.
Yes.
Where we've done things like that. So there's a lot involved with it. Being out here on Long Island, being that it's a seaport, a lot of things have come in and out through the history of the whaling and the farmers and out here. So it's evolved, and really it's the identity of the area.
Okay. So with the Shinnecocks, are they a part of the roundtable discussions with Slow Food?
Yeah,
out here?
There's actually one of our board members is from the Shinnecock Nation.
Wow.
We're working with them in terms of their seed library. There's a group in the Hudson Valley called the Hudson Valley Seed Library, which is a nonprofit, and there's two parts of it. There's a nonprofit and a profit part to grow seeds to preserve our history here in the Hudson Valley and in New York State.
Wow. That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I keep saying beautiful because there is so much history here.
Yeah.
And it's, yes, from the Shinnecocks, which I definitely want you guys to know more about their history. It's just wonderful on what they're doing out here on the East End, and they've been here for a very long time. And they're just so much history, even in the food component on that.
Because people don't realize, even with the whaling that was out here, there were a lot of people that came in on the boats that were whalers, that were Native Americans, they were Americans and foreigners. So there was a very intermingling of their food history and their plants and different things like that.
I just love that. So since we're talking about food history, let's go ahead and take a tour over there.
Sure, this is great. Let's take a look, see what we have here.
Yeah. Wait, do you work with any of the baby bok choy or the collard greens here?
The collard greens I don't use. I love collard greens. That's one of my favorites.
Okay.
But we work with them here with some of their lettuces. I use a lot, like I said before, I use a lot of their baby spinach, a lot of their fresh herbs.
Escarole?
Escarole, spinach here, our great spinach here. Some of the delicious spinach. It's a great flavorful, it's all organic here as well, which is key.
Great.
We try to buy as much organic as we possibly can. The one thing being in the Northeast, you do lose during the off season, the locality. So what you need to do is, at the time, what you need to do is just purchase as best you can, being that we are a resort and then we're open year round, we need to feed our guests.
Yes.
So we need to be mindful, granted it may not be local, but to buy the best ingredients you could possibly buy to keep that in mind as well.
But I love that because it is you're giving them a community taste, a local feel when they're dining, especially in the summer.
Right.
having like the oysters or even the other
it's
seafood
amazing.
items that we
You know,
have.
like Peter Haskell.
Yes.
Peter is a great source of seafood for me, and he's a great information. Peter is also on the board of Slow Food East End, so him and I are constantly talking. We're trying to use underutilized fish, not to use fish the same thing with the fish. It can be overfished as well. So we're trying to find underutilized fish. A lot of times the underutilized fish have great flavor. They're not commercially viable because they're not being harvested in large quantities. So something like skate or something like sea robin, which people were known as trash fish, because a lot of the fishermen would just throw it back or just eat it for themselves, because that was, it's not commercial. They're not harvesting enough to sell. It's like the old story with the hanger steak on the cow. There's only one hanger steak in the cow. That used to be the butcher's cuts, and then people find out about it. They find how great flavorful it is. It comes with demand. So, like with the Arc of Taste, where we're trying to promote things, trying to promote underutilized fish and fish that is not known or was known as trash fish. Once people get it on the menu, see it on the menu at Barron's Cove or any of the other restaurants out here, it grows the demand with the customers and the consumer, which then makes it economically feasible for the fishermen to harvest it as well.
And that's another thing I love about Barron's Cove, and that you brought to the table, is dock to dish.
Yeah.
Having that relationship with the local fishermen.
Yeah. It's very important. It's almost like dating. You
Yes. Date around a couple people.
Yeah. We don't do that.
I
don't
love
cheat
that.
on my farmers
Good.
or fishermen.
Very loyal.
Yes. But it's a two-way relationship.
Yes.
It's how they handle the food, how the farmer handles the food.
Yes.
The freshness. I mean, this is beautiful
Look,
herbs.
it's just-
I mean, look at the variety we have.
The oregano.
And talking and seeing what we want. So if it's something that I want that they're not growing, they'll plant it for next season.
Wow.
And I'm sure if I want it, other chefs want it.
Yes.
So it's just really communication, building a relationship, and talking to each other. It's just all about knowing your farmer, knowing your chef, knowing what your consumer wants as well.
And what I love too, that in this community there is no competition. There's none, because everyone works well together, and even all the restaurants, everyone has their own personality and their own flair.
Right.
And you're a chef, so whatever you put into one dish, another chef has his other secrets in that dish, and will still love it because you're putting your own thing into it.
The best thing is the more the merrier.
Yes.
If we have like in Sag Harbor where I'm located, or out in the East End, if it becomes a dining destination, people come out here for 3 or 4 days, or 2 days, or even 1 day. There's enough places where everyone can go, and the more people that come out, it's better for all of us. It's better for the farmers. It's better for the chefs. It's better for the restaurants. It's
better for Barron's Cove.
Better for Barron's Cove. Better for your show.
Yes,
more episodes. So it helps everybody, and that's the sense of community. That's really what it's about. It's this community of how we can help each other.
I love that. And so let's talk about these herbs.
So we got some great herbs here. The Italian parsley, which we buy from Balsam Farms. We use it in our chimichurri. The basil, which we're using in our pesto, that we have on the menu. We also use some mint in our chimichurri as well, and the oregano. We have the borage here, which is great in salads. The sage, which you can use in cocktails. There's a lot of great herbs here. A lot of great things. Thyme.
We always have time.
Always have time. Not all the time. Sometimes. But there's a variety of thyme that I love. It's called lemon thyme, which has a little bit of citrus to it. I'm not sure. I think that's just regular thyme.
But when is that grown?
That's grown year-round as well.
Okay.
We actually grow it at the restaurant as well.
Really? We got to check that out when we go back.
Yeah. So we have, in our restaurant garden, we have things that we use. We also have things from the Arc of Taste, which we're growing as well. Some items that are up for nomination in the Arc of Taste.
Wait. Nomination?
Yeah.
There's an award show?
No, it's not an award show, but there's a whole nomination process to get onto the Arc of Taste. You need to have the provenance of stuff, the history of it, and there's a whole period, so it's not so easy.
I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that.
It's the A-list of well, it's not the A-list, because if you're on that list, it means you're endangered, but there's a whole process to it, because sometimes you need to prove the locality of the item, and there is a need to put it on the list.
Yes. Wow. Okay, so we have this mushrooms.
Right.
Do you do a lot of the mushrooms here?
No, we
Okay.
right now during the summer I don't use a lot of mushrooms.
Okay.
We use them more in the fall. The baby fennel we use a lot, which is they're great on great anise flavor. We use it on a couple of our salads. We use it on a scallop dish at the restaurant as well.
Okay.
And rock cauliflower, and you got, I don't know, the beans. I'm not sure where they're getting it from,
And the
but
garlic?
oh, that's not garlic. Oh, that is garlic. It's
Fresh garlic.
yeah, it's fresh garlic.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. So
Check that out.
that's some some. It's not as strong as garlic. Got a little sweeter
Yeah.
flavor to it as well. And we don't buy from them, but they have great preserved products as well, where they're utilizing everything. I mean, that's really the key to economically, as a chef being feasible, and food waste is to use everything through what's available. If you have bruised items with like the tomatoes, make sauce. The nose to tail philosophy in butchery. There's almost root to leaf terms with vegetables, where you're not wasting anything. Baby carrot tops. At one point, I was making pesto out of with fresh dill. So not throwing things out is the way you can utilize stuff. It's just kind of so much food is getting wasted. Not just here, but all over the United States and the world. That's something that Slow Foods is actually trying to fight in terms of also supporting healthy eating in schools. So everything really ties into each other, and you don't realize how everything is intertwined. But not wasting food is really key. It's a shame. It kills me just to throw things out.
And you know what? Another thing I'm loving right now is this is what you're promoting at a resort at Barron's Cove, because some resorts you go to, when the food's done, when they can't use it, okay, it's done. Yeah. But now you're telling our viewers that you guys are using everything.
Yeah, and in terms of sometimes if we have an overabundance of stuff, we try to work with local food pantries. We work with Heart of the Hamptons. There's a community support in Sag Harbor. I'm not sure the exact name, but we've helped them as well. So nothing goes. You really can't. You don't realize in any area there's always people that need support. Maybe food-wise or something else. There's always people. I think what people don't realize in an area like Long Island or Eastern Long Island, where there's a lot of abundance, there are people that do need food and support for various reasons.
So we're dining for a cause at Barron's Cove each and every moment.
Yeah, we're trying to help everybody.
Yes.
And it is part of the community.
I love that.
So that's really what it's great.
Okay. So anything else here at Balsam that you typically
we see, and as the season changes, we'll talk. We'll see what they have. I know the asparagus is here right now. I know it's kind of waning right now. The strawberry season is ending soon as well.
Okay.
Which brings other things. We're bringing, as the weather changes, we'll bring different lettuces and different vegetables and more sugar snaps and different things like that.
Ooh, I like that. And what about the sweet potatoes? Because we're known as a potato
area.
Yeah. And regular potatoes.
Yeah. Right now I'm not using a lot of local potatoes.
Okay.
The potatoes, these are maybe from, I don't know when they were harvested. I don't know a lot about that. But Long Island is great. It's great soil for the great sandy, rocky soil for potatoes.
Okay. You hear that, everyone? We're in potato land.
We are potato land.
I wonder if we're gonna have French fries.
No, we're trying to eat healthy.
Yes, healthy living, healthy living. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. All right, so I would love to see what other items that we have here.
That's great. Let's look around. Let's see what you got. So we have the great herbs. These are some of their products. The tomato sauce that they made.
Salsas.
Salsa verde.
Ooh, pickled beets.
Love pickled beets.
I do too. I'm like, okay, I might have to
love
do that.
pickled vegetables.
It's so good. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And earlier you were talking about Asian food. Have you ever dabbled into the Asian cuisine?
A little bit. I've done a little bit. I think what we do at Barron's Cove and what I've done in the past is we always want the ingredients to shine, not to overwork the food. You get great ingredients to give a great dish. Let the ingredients shine. If you're getting great products from people like Balsam Farms or fish like from Peter Haskell or cheese from, I get a lot of cheese from Maycock's Dairy as well, which is right out here as well. The Ludlows do a great job with their cheeses. You let it shine. Don't don't overwork it. It's my job to just highlight the food.
I love that.
The food's there. So it makes working with great products makes it easy for me.
It's even better.
You know, I think it's harder. If you have a great product, it's easy to make a great dish. If you have a product that's inferior or the quality, then you have to work it more. You have to make it more involved. I think one thing which at Barron's Cove we do is you can taste the items that are on the dish. Everything just doesn't blend in. When you get a big bowl of pasta, which nothing wrong with a big bowl of pasta, but you're tasting the same flavors the whole way through.
Yes.
So, you know, eat smaller portions in terms of pasta, but you want to keep yourself, you don't want to be bored. Obviously, the first time you eat, you're always looking with your eyes, but you're tasting it. You know, after a while, you keep tasting the same thing. It could be delicious, but you're going to get bored.
Yes.
So we don't want to be bored.
No, we do not. We do not. We want to add a little bit of a pop in your mouth.
We want to fiesta. We want to savor the moment.
You do want to savor the moment. You have to savor every moment.
Especially on the show.
Yes. I love it. I love it. And savor the moments. I always tell people it's not all about food. It's about savoring your everyday life.
Well, you know,
and celebration.
When I think the one thing also people don't realize, one of the best parts of eating is who you eat with.
Yes.
It's the company. You could have an average meal, but if you have great company and great conversation,
it's the best.
It's the best meal in the world.
Yes.
So it's, you know, I know unfortunately a lot of these times people eat alone, which, you know, you have to do. But there's what's better than sitting around the table with a bunch of your friends or family, you know, having a good glass of wine or even just water
or iced tea
and just having a great meal.
Yes.
That's what makes, you know, memory. It's who you had the meals with. Sometimes you have a meal, you forget what the food is, but you remember who you were with.
In that conversation.
And
not only that, what I love about food is it's a universal language. So you can have a ton of people around that same table speaking various languages, but the food itself, they'll be able to just savor it.
You know, I think being a chef, and I'm sure a lot of chefs feel this way, a lot of people don't like to cook for us. You know, oh my God, I'm cooking for a chef.
Yes.
But I think most chefs, you can make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but I know what it took for you to make that sandwich and how nervous you are making it for me. It's appreciated. You know, it's what goes into the meal and the time that you took to make it is the meal. It's not even important what you make.
Wow.
So
I love that. That's very. It's not just inspiring that you just said that. I'm trying to think of the right word. It's not inspiring. It's thoughtful.
Yeah, it is.
It's very thoughtful.
I've been doing this a long time.
Yes. How long?
I've been cooking for 41 years now. I started cooking as a dishwasher. I'm 16, which makes me 57.
Wow, you were cooking before I was even thought of.
Yeah. Well, who would have thought about that? But, you know, it's something that I've done, and you realize what it takes to cook. I mean, you know, being a chef, there's a lot of sacrifices, you know, family, friends, hours, but it's something that gets in your blood and that you love. You really love to do.
Yes. And I tell all my culinary and chef friends this. I went to culinary school for like a quarter and a half.
Yeah.
And what I loved is creating dishes that make people smile. So when they're when they're savoring it, just a smile.
Think about what my job is.
Yes.
My job is to make people happy.
Yes.
That's a pretty good job.
Yes, but I admire you because it is a lot of hours in the kitchen. It is a lot of time that you're putting into things, and I knew I couldn't do it, so that's why I'm just a voice and showcasing it.
Well,
that's what I can do.
We appreciate your voice,
yes.
And you know, it's something you love. It gets in your blood, and I can't imagine doing anything else.
And you're just radiating when you're talking about it.
It's great. You know, it's the best thing. I couldn't do anything else.
And I think this might be him.
Hello. How you doing, Jay? Hey, good to see you.
Everyone knows I'm a hugger. So how long have you had Balsam Farms? Is this your family?
Well,
or?
It's not my family.
Okay.
Balsam Farms was founded by Alex Balsam 17 years ago. I've been out here this is my 16th year now.
Wow.
He and I were friends in college. I came out for a summer when the farm was brand new and wasn't supposed to be a career. And, you know, we've sort of grown it from there.
Wow.
So we've changed a lot over that time and learned a lot. We still are trying to get better every year. So it's not a family farm exactly. His parents helped a lot in the early days.
Okay.
And now, you know, I can't name everybody who helps. It's a pretty big operation.
Big family.
But
it's a big your family. Like it's a Balsam family.
It's a new family.
It's a new family.
We're making our own family. That's right.
Now tell us about so you're open every day.
We're open every day. We open in mid-May normally, and we're open actually through Christmas.
Oh, that's
Or just the
good.
weekend before Christmas. Towards the
Okay.
end of the year, we go down to just weekends. But of course, the summertime's our busiest time. But we do have really loyal local customers, and we want to cater to them too. So the shoulder seasons are a little bit slower, but with the Long Island growing weather, we're blessed to be able to grow stuff really almost year round. And when we're not growing it, we're storing it. And so we, every year have stayed open a little bit longer.
Now, are you part of like a CSA? Do you have
We do have a
something?
CSA.
Okay.
We have a CSA where people come pick up. It's Thursday through Saturday, depending on what people want. And a CSA is a great deal. They pay ahead of time, so we can cover some of our spring costs. And each week they come and get a basket of whatever's fresh and delicious and in season. And it's a really good deal for people who are adventurous eaters and want to try new
Yes.
things because they get way more than their dollar worth out of it.
Okay.
But it's good for us because we have the money up front. And we also get to choose what is, abundant. And so it's instead of having to supply everything, they get tomatoes when there's lots of tomatoes and zucchini when there's lots of zucchini, and it's a really good
It's a
partnership.
culinary adventure.
That's right.
I love that.
And we try to include a recipe for some of the unique vegetables that we include.
Okay.
So if somebody gets kohlrabi, we don't just leave them on an island to figure it out. We,
They look at it like, oh,
What is this?
we do a mix of
That might be
of
me.
specialty, unusual things that are, of course, delicious with the suggestion. And then we do also the staples like tomatoes and corn and greens. And
Do you work with chefs for the recipes?
a little bit. It's
Okay.
actually, we do most of it in-house.
Okay.
Working with chefs like Jay and other local chefs has been incredibly good for me as a farmer, or us as a farm, because it helps us to grow the best stuff. If Jay says this should be a little bit different, or can you try this variety? We do, and every year it's an evolution.
I mean, that's the one thing. Like last year was my first year out here, and we had never worked together before. And I think just us feeling each other out
Yep.
and talking, and like last year was like the Long Island cheese pumpkin, and I hit you up and I hit another farm up as well because I love it. But I think just feeling each other out, and like we said, we talk in the off season, say, okay, what are we looking to do? This way, you know what to grow. What you want to have stuff that's wanted, and sure, what I want, other chefs are looking for, and
Exactly.
it's putting our heads together and making it the best for both of us.
And our customers might not know as much about the produce as somebody like Jay, and so Jay's saying that, hey, try this, it's really delicious, or pick it this way, helps not only our relationship, but also helps me know how to better serve our customers here at the stand. So.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Well, before we wrap up and save our way to our next stop, I'm going to purchase something. You're going to help me out on that one.
Well,
Figure it out.
everything
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah.
I will get back to work
Yes.
and let you go.
Thank
but
you so much, Ian.
Great to meet you.
Yes.
Jay,
Nice
I will
to see you
speak
again.
with you
I'll talk
soon.
to you soon.
See you sooner than later.
care.
Bye. Hey! What's up? How are you?
Good, how's it going?
Good. This is a surprise.
Nice to see you.
One of our surprise guests.
Restaurants?
Yeah, we came by, we walking around, touring the place and
Nice.
seeing what's around.
And getting a
Boston
feel.
has the best stuff.
Yeah.
We
So
have their stuff too.
we mentioned that we're going to have a couple surprise guests. So it's just one. This is Kate. She's with Emma Genzet Food Institute, which you notice we've been there with Chef Nick and Cyril J and several other people.
And we've just changed our name
To?
to East End Food Institute to reflect our wide geographic reach. We're working with farms across the East End.
And Balsam Farms is one of them.
They were one of our original members. So
Ooh, I got goosebumps.
Oh,
There's a tie here. There's a tie here. So everyone, we're gonna savor right here at Balsam Farms, but next up, we're gonna go back to Barron's Cove. Dive into some lunch.
Like a
Yeah,
plan. What are you making?
I don't know, whatever you guys want.
Well, no,
Can we
you
get
give
in
us.
there too?
Of
Yeah.
course we
I
are.
love cooking. You know I love cooking.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
We've cooked together
Yes.
before.
Oh, well, I will just put on an apron.
Okay.
That's the best.
So off to Barron's.